Welcome guys to Level Up Circle TV from E360 TV. So you're wondering, CJ, where is this gonna go? Where is all of our stuff? First of all, it's gonna go to our YouTube channel, obviously. But if you have Amazon Fire, right? Roku, Apple TV, and you have your cell phone, you have Android, you have Facebook, you have Link, you name it. We're all over the place. What you got to do if you want to watch us on TV, give it about 2 to 3 days until we upload for our shows. And of course, they edit some of these things. Go ahead and download the app E360 TV in your television, and then you will find this cover in there. I have shows on Thursdays and also Sundays for TV. So, welcome to a Level Up Circle TV, guys. Today is a special day because my brothers and sisters from Rebel with a Cause are here today. But first things first, look at this beautiful human being right here. We gotta update this picture for sure. I'm sure she has new selfies somewhere. We gotta put it up. My sister from another mister is an amazing human being. She has a lot of programs. So we have a book club together. And in our book club, you're like, what do you do in the book club? Just talk? Come on, guys. You know, I don't do ordinary stuff program, right? We are actually shaping you to be a publisher. If you want to be an independent publisher, you need to know all the nitty gritty things. We have a once a month class that you can actually go with because it's recorded, and we talked in details of what is what. And then we also have a live Zoom with you once a month. And if you had started this in August, or was it July? I don't remember. I think it's July, until March, and you basically get into the monthly program. Then by next year March, you would be getting into our anthology for free. We always have something for free for everybody, right? And then this mister from another, well, no, this brother from another mister. You see, I'm so riled up this morning. I can't even think straight. Anyhow, HOB leader, Hounds of Business Community. For those of you who are in Hounds of Business Community, I have a separate calendar for you. You don't have to wait until February to chat with me. You will have a different calendar. Just DM me. For those of you who are an author, that's been an author in my and Susanna's anthologies, you also have a different calendar to talk to me. It's not the regular calendar, right? I know, VIP treatment right here. But I do. I value your time. I value your collaborations. You deserve a separate calendar, right? For sure. So, this magazine's coming out the end of September, I think, first week of October. And I am actually partnering up with Jen Lin in terms of the design. I do all the write ups for all the business leaders because you deserve it. And I'm looking for a transformative leader. If you want to be in it, let me know. This one comes with an SEO backlink to your website if you have any, or if you have a link tree, whatever that you want to go for, let me know. And it comes with a television as well by yourself, not in a group. Okay. And then, of course, I have my in person activity with my sister from another, Mr. Sandra Gonzalez and Dr. Dreyer. And we are going to be in San Diego, October 19th from 11 a.m. This is an in person. There is no replay, there is no live. This is human to human, guys. We connect with each other, and I will have some freebies for you in there. If you are in Level Up, just go ahead and scan the ticket if you're in San Diego, and your secret code is level up, one word. If you are a veteran, your secret code is veteran, or is it veterans? Play with those two, with an S or without an S, but that is your coupon code basically. All right. And then, of course, my brother Russ, he just had his cancer treatment yesterday for his brain tumor. So if you're looking to sponsor him for his cancer talk in New York, please help the brother out. He is our brother, dear and near to our heart. If you don't know Russ, you are missing out. He is an amazing human being. Forget all that he does for everybody else, just human to human. He is an amazing brother. And we love him very much. And here is Mike to Millions. So I actually, thank God I have a Susanna. Do you guys have a Susanna? because my Susanna, okay, my sister, I was still sleeping and she texted me about my book that I didn't even look. She's like, "Did you know you just posted the book yesterday?" I'm like, "Yeah." She goes, "Look, you're number one top new release." I was like, "What?" I literally was not awake, and I was, and I am. And I was like, "What? I'm a number one. This is my solo book. This is my first solo book since 2017. But this solo book is in number one top new release in Amazon for 2 days. I don't know today if it is still, but I know yesterday it was. And when it was came out, it was. I was like, what? I'm so shook. So thank you for your support. What I'm doing with this program is I have 3 tiers. I have a freebie. The freebie will have its own rule, but I created a forum for it. My first forum was 10 years ago, so you have to be very gentle with me because I had 100,000 members in my forum, and that was for a game, Animal Crossing. Okay, but this one, this is serious business. This is podcast circuit. Only if you're ready. If you are not ready, please don't come because I will delete your membership without even giving you due costs. I want somebody who's active. I want someone who wants to get the voices out there and making sure that they represent their passion for themselves the right way. And people ask me, CJ, why would I go with your group? There's so many podcasters group. You're right. There's Facebook everywhere. But if you know me, I got your back. And on top of that, we have experiential learning from everybody else, right? So if you want to do marketing the right way, this is the way to do it. Mike to millions. And I'm going to go with the book. And I'm so excited. I just finished the curriculum for the free first meeting on October 7th. And you're going to ask me, where's the link? There ain't no one. If you're not in the forum, you will not get an email after registration. I will not be sending email. I don't got time to do busy stuff like that. So if you're not in registering to the forum, you will not get an email because I will get all the links in the forum only. Right? I'm telling you, it's serious business. I'm not going to be like chasing you where it's everything. Nope, it's your responsibility. If you want to show up for yourself, then you show up for yourself because you're on my time, right? I'm not on your time. I'm helping you, give you a heads up to make sure that we are in it to win it. We are a doer, not a talker. So that's what we're trying to do. Also, guys, Freedom Expo, please scan, get their information. This is all for people who are doing mental wellness, they are doing cancer society. Please help our community together. And look at this amazing human beings. 19, well, 20 technically. Are you guys ready? I'm so done talking right now. So if I miss a sponsor, I'm sorry. I just gotta start. Yeah, I know, right? You like my shirt, guys? It's my husband's shirt. He's probably gonna be mad. He's not home right now, so I took his shirt. Sister, are you ready?
I'm ready, sis. Let's have fun.
Gorgeous. Why do you look cuter than me? What the heck? I love that we have pink hair, and I actually didn't even talk to you about it because I was
No,
really screaming this morning. My daughter, oh, she's a vain. Like, oh, I know that when she grows up, she will be a great leader. Right now, she's a pain in my you know what. I was like, I keep thinking, God, really? Was I this horrible when I was a teenager? Is this why I'm getting this? Like, what is happening? Oh, my 17-year-old is really putting me on my toes. My 20-year-old is already out of the house. And she tries to embarrass me in front of you, and it actually backfired. It was hilarious to see. How are you doing, sis? Are you excited?
I'm excited. We've got amazing authors here. I mean, all 20 of them, all the authors that we've got in this book are the stories are amazing. Every one of them is a rebel. And the way they wrote their stories, people are gonna see themselves in so many of these stories and have their own awareness ignited to let their own rebel loose.
Yeah. I was actually thinking when I was reading all their chapters, Angelica, we have Mad Skills Sisters over here who does video. Imagine if we had a nonprofit right now that we can get fundraised and we create our own video on our anthologies, right? To basically have lessons learned. Like if you read the chapters, there's one or two lessons learned. I can create a skit pretty quickly and have each and every one of these people, like Angelica, you and me, travel around where our authors are and get like a 15 minutes video of their chapter, them acting. Like, what would be that? Would be so cool. I'm manifesting, okay? I'm literally manifesting. But it would be so nice to see that movement of what, because when you talk about it and when you read it is different when you see it, right?
Right.
Now imagine if we connected the dots, we see it, we talk about it, now we're on video, like our own 15-minute movie about our own chapter, right?
Yep.
I mean, I'm just saying. But for those of you who are already on my book, on our anthologies, we are actually giving you guys 90 days. I usually give you 90 days to actually do your own chapter reading. And I wish that I had a chance to do that with Jess, and Jess was like, yeah, I'll do it, and she never did, and so I had to do hers. Please don't make me do that again. That was so hard for me to do that. For you, please save my heart and read your own chapter, because it would be more ideal. I'm lost for words. More ideal for you to do your own chapter. Are you guys ready? Sister, are
I,
you ready to bring them in?
I, I'm ready, and I have a feeling most of them are ready too.
I think so too. Dr. Johnson! Bro, you still owe me, Willie J. You still owe me my intro. Let me tell you something.
I got you. I
I
got you.
will never let that go. I'll be like, dude, I need a
It,
good intro. I'm always trying to get intro. We almost hit. We're at 62,000 on our YouTube now. I'm gonna try as much as I can to do 100. But I was reflecting yesterday when someone asked me, "Why rebel with a cause, CJ?" I said, I don't know. My ADHD, when I have conversations at 1 o'clock in the morning with my sister, comes out. And once I'm hyper focused, I cannot let it go. Right? Oh, I'm not singing. I was like, let it go. Let it go.
There it goes.
Miguel, talk to me about your chapter. Was it hard?
Uh,
Was it difficult? How was the feeling of doing this chapter?
Hi, Constance. Yeah, writing the chapter was an interesting experience. It wasn't too hard. I write pretty well, and the story was pretty much ingrained in my DNA uh, by this point when I did write it. So it wasn't too hard to put it together. What was difficult for me was revealing how much do I want to share, and working with Constance. I came to the revelation. I was like, wow, we were limited to 3,000 words. And even just that, I came to the revelation that the amount of breadth that I was able to reveal in just that amount of words, um, providing that much of a backstory and impact, um, I wouldn't have experienced had I not done this.
Yeah. And I told Susanna that I wanted to help you because your background and my background is similar when it comes to academic writing. We tend to do citations, we tend to structure it differently. It took me a while to get that academic writing to anthology writing. It's difficult to the structure wise, not the writing part, it's the structure on the expectations. And I didn't get a mentor, nor did I get a feedback, nor did I get a help on any of these books that I did. And I didn't feel good when no one understand the way my writing style versus the output that I did, right? So that's where I thought to Susanna, like, let me take care of Miguel because I know the way he writes. I've seen his business plan. He is very structured like an academic, right? So how was it for you to write and switch to, like, I showed Susanna your beginning, like 1 2 3 4. I'm like, oh, we gotta change this up, and to your entire like chapter written at the end. I was super happy. I hope you were happy as much as I was. I was excited for you.
I was happy with how it came out. And as you mentioned, that I would say was the most difficult part of it was the structuring of it. Um, because I'm used to providing references. Well, where did I get this information? I'm used to using someone else's wording as standing for my own, and then that is totally contradictory to what rebel with a cause is, and that wouldn't have flew in this anthology. And then so I did appreciate the help you provided, because you're right. I did interviews. If you read the chapter, you'll see I was interviewing people in the chapter, but I had to phrase it as if it was coming from me, in order to provide narrative, which was required in the book. So yeah.
I know. I was like, oh my gosh, that was a good for me. That your chapter was one of those chapters that like transform really well too. Dr. Johnson is another academics, right? How was it for you writing an anthology? I felt like you knew what's up already and you just kind of switches things around. And you were so busy, sir. So thank you for your commitment to continue on.
You're welcome. First and foremost, it's something that I wanted to do. First of all, can you guys hear me?
Yes, loud and
Okay.
clear.
Yeah, it was just something that you and I, sis, we talked about myself doing, and it's about getting the information out. I stay in the Chicagoland area, so everything I do, it's more so I want to give back. So as you can tell in my story, it's more of a lessons learned. So when I go to speak at the school system in Chicago or the universities, again, uh, there are dark places that you can go after experiences. A number of the incidents that I was actually thrown into where I was growing up. So the writing part was, again, going back to Ollie, just whether what do I say? How do I say it? Do I say it in this particular tone, or do I kind of tone it down? That was the most important thing for me, to kind of deliver it in a space where it actually made people wanted to understand the story.
Yeah, and I know your story. I know everyone's story. I'm privileged enough to get to know you guys, but more so, and I known Miguel for a bit, but I didn't know the details of his life. So it gave me a good glimpse of who you are as a person and what you can do as a person for our community and the collaborations that we can do in the future together as a team and also as individuals. So thank you for that, Dr. Johnson. Dr. Johnson reach out to his community all the time, and he's all about the future and the kids within his community. And he's an amazing human being. So if you're not connected with Dr. Johnson or Miguel, please do. Sandra, sister, we met in person because you texted me at midnight and I didn't even know who you are.
Right. No, it's so good to be here and super excited to be talking about the book again. We did once YouTube before, um, but the way this happened was very special. I just felt that every step that took me to write this chapter was something from the universe, because the time that I text you, I was here in New Jersey. I was traveling to San Diego, and I thought will be cool to connect with you. So I text you in LinkedIn, and it was like a push from the universe. Text this lady, and I did. Then when I was in my training in San Diego, I was super busy the whole week, and that day that I had the break, we have a break, 1 day break between the 2 weeks training, and again the universe pushed me like, text this lady, ask her if she's still on for to meet with you. And I just did that, and you answer and you say, yeah, tomorrow. And I was like, okay, super. And then you text me, you were, I don't know, 25 miles away, but then you say you will stop by the hotel, and I was like, wow, this is meant to be. So we meet, and I wasn't, looking to write a book or anything, but a book, it was something that was it was something I wanted to do for a long time. I didn't know how to start that, what was the process, but I always loved writing. It was the way for me to communicate with myself, to understand my thoughts more in a clear way. So it was an internal process that I had, but I never thought I will be publishing any of this, my story or anything like that. And it was excited when you put that out there and said that that I could participate in this anthology. I had to think about it a little bit, and then I say again, the universe pushed me, yes, say yes. So I say yes, and it's funny because you told me the first drop is due like Sunday, I think you said, and it was 4 days, right? And I was still in San Diego finishing that training. And what I did was in my flight back, it's 5 hours, 5.5 hours flight. So I start writing in the plane. And that's where I got everything that I wanted to share for my story. I did that in my flight, and when I got home next day when I was resting, I started writing, and I was able to just complete my first drop. And it was amazing when I read it. I really liked it. And then you guys give me feedback. And I didn't think it was a lot of changes that I needed to do, but the feedback was great because it makes the story even more amazing. I was really happy to read my story, and happy with the process that it changed me and give me clarity about many things about my life and the people in my life. So I love this experience. It
Thank you,
was
Sandra.
really amazing.
Yeah, what she forgot is that she was already late. You guys know me. I'm very structured. If you're late, I don't wait for you. Like seriously, right? Everyone is busy. So if you don't value my time, it's reciprocity energy, right? But there's something about her that tells me like she needs this push. Like it's weird feeling that I get. And so she was already like we were already talking about it, guys, like a week or two or almost already. And I was talking to Susanna because we're partners. I was like, should we let her in? And Susanna was like, well, can she write? I'm like, how the heck do I know? I just met her and gave her a hug. That's literally what I did. I've never even worked with her. And Susanna's like, what's your gut feeling? I was like, she's a good person. We're gonna go with it. And Susanna's like, is she committed? I was like, I don't know. I don't push people. I give you the opportunity, and if you feel the energy is good, let's go. If you feel that the energy is not, I don't push because I don't want to carry you on the process. I'm carrying a lot of
Right,
people. So you need to carry yourself. And if I push you, that means I have to carry you. I'm not carrying nobody. It's not happening, right? Because this is a collaboration. That means you collaborate based on your energy. And so Sandra gave me that energy, and I trusted the universe to get it going, and she did. Now, bro, Willie J, how many how many books we've been together, bro? Why Rebel with a Cause?
Hey, first of all, congratulations to all of the winning rebels that are on here. We did it. We did it, guys. We did it. Number one international bestseller. The fifth one for me over here with my buddies Suzanne and Leland, Dr. New down here. We've done about I think 5 books together, 4 or 5. With us, Leland, I think it's the fifth one, maybe.
Yep.
Yeah, met you during Red or Wake. So my chapter was. I think about the word pressure comes to mind. Writing under pressure. There was a lot of pressure during the process of writing my chapter. The pressure of dealing with our sister Jess, R.I.P. to her, who was on the last anthology with us, Beyond Boundaries, Thriving in Life's Gray Zone. So that pressure, the pressure of losing another friend 4 days after that. Prior to that, a good friend of the family, pretty much like a family member. So that pressure, then the pressure of us being talked about in the New York Weekly before the book dropped. You always have this spotlight pressure, right? And we had just went number one as an entrepreneur. So I think it's that human tendency to try to outdo yourself and to make sure you're sticking out. And so I really, before I went into that inner space, I've always tried to start my writings out with meditation, prayer. I'm the one that's always talking about God as paramount. Like, Lord, which direction should I go here? When I think of rebels, I think of awareness. You have to be aware. And all my life, coming from East St. Louis, we were like the number one murdering capital as a little boy and a young teen coming up, and seeing my best friend killed, and just a lot of nuances, right? So it caused me to relive a lot of moments, to be honest. And you know my theory about pressure, and that is taking the URE off of pressure to press forward. So instantly, I believe God went, I believe God gave me to say saying no to say yes, which was a quite different writing from all of my other anthologies. It's a little more edgy, right? I went back in space to where a true rebel was really born, and that really happened during a intimate born again experience with the Lord, to be honest. And that's when I found myself and re-identified with who I truly was in the most authentic manner. So this pressure of saying like, hey, am I going to outdo? And I'm learning this. I hope this will help people. Like, your best work is always your most current work. It's not so much the previous work. So that kills pressure. And he's like, no, right now is what's important. Right now is what's important. And my no in life have become my yes. No's aren't always, in terms of no, people think of no being something derogatory or something or a sign of disrespect. It's not. Without giving my chapter up, it's just learning to say no to the things that stop my growth. Basically, is what my chapter is about. And living life in the most authentic, genuine way, and showing people it's okay, and to stand up, and rebel with impact and direction, and unapologetically being who you are, not who people want you to be. And that's how we win as
That's
winning
right.
rebels.
Always, always. Thank you guys. Okay, so we are at the 30 mark. Thank you, YouTube. We hit 1,500, guys. Thank
Yay.
you, YouTube, for listening. I appreciate you. So, we have about we end in this TV network. I know. I wish I could extend it, but it's at 52. So I want to do the same and give Kim the space also about this book, um, and how you progress from wanting to do it to doing it to now being number one international bestseller. Kim, take it away.
Yeah. Remind me the question again because I'm really into Jay story, so bring me back.
No worries. So I wanted to basically kind of bring you in on the process of saying yes to the book. What was your thought process, right? Because people always were be curious watching like how is it writing with a book with CJ and Susanna? Because there's a lot of people out there who does anthology. We just do it differently. I think I'm thinking more of a red ocean, blue ocean strategy
Yes.
where there's too many noise out there, but
Yes.
you
Yes.
have
Yeah.
to kind of go through the noise to see where your belonging is, right? And
Yes.
the way we offer it, the way Level Up Academy offers it, is that we bring everything in house for your message to be everywhere. So how was that process for you? Because I know you've had spent a lot of money trying to get your book out there and still didn't materialize, right? So
Yeah. Yeah. That will definitely, talk to you both about that. So for me was when I met you in Ani, and you have a talk in LinkedIn room, audio room, and I heard about the book, and I share my heartache in paying like 35 grand to someone that they said done for your book, but the book never done. The money been paid. Uh, Different people that I hired, but the book was not complete. So when I asked you, when we talked privately on the side, and you said this compilation for the investment of it, it's no brainer. I say yes, but we have the window of only 10 days or so and the book coming out. And I said, you was really serious in terms of Kim, can you do it? I say, yes, I can. All I do just retrieve some information from the old book, and you and Susanna can help me. The journey itself is liberated. You have healed me with that wound of not not, pay so much money for the book they promised done for you. It not done. But with your experience with Susanna and with the community here, I am forever grateful because by visiting my wounded as a child being physically abused from my own parents, because in Vietnam our culture disciplined children would beating them up, and that's how they said, this is how I love you. I need to beat you up so you be a good person. So I was confused and I rebelled that when I was a little girl until now. What I want to redefine rebellious, because all of us here stand for love, for light, for collaboration, for goodness within ourselves, within each other. Redefine the norm in terms of the miscommunication to put us in a box. We don't fit in no box. We create our own, um, you know, love economy. That the word I use. When we share love, wisdom with others people, the money exchange, it become like this higher frequency of love, of respect, of honor. So I take stand for that. It called love economy, wisdom economy, knowledge economy. So this is a new way that we want to show up in this way. And I'm thankful. I'm thankful to everyone here, especially you, CJ, Dr. Constant, because you say whatever you say and you deliver, because I pay a lot of money. Imagine 150 grand hiring all different coaches. That's how much I spent so far. Okay, I'm still spending, but I want to attract the right people who have integrity. They really overpromise. I mean, under promise, over delivery, not over promise and under delivery. So this journey for me is liberated, and I'm very grateful. We'll do more, collaboration together. I know that. I have a vision for all of us. So thank you very much, CJ, Susanna, and all of you here. I love you very much because my mission as we heal our heart, we heal the world. Because as a master heart healer for almost 32 years, that's my mission. As I am healing my own heart, divorced mom, raised three healthy, happy, successful young adult. And I want all the mothers out there, single or divorced mom, didn't matter, that her heart heal so the youngster no longer carry the generational curses. That's my wish.
Thank you,
Thank
Kim.
you.
I appreciate that. Yeah, when I heard you, my heart hurt. I'm like, you spent how much money? You know how many scholarship people could I have done that to? And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna show you that there are honest people out there who's a doer. That's why I tell you guys, you need a doer who has an integrity, who has a history of giving deliveries, right? Because if you put your reputation on people that just da 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 da, that's what you're gonna be equate to, da 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 da. But if you're a doer and you have people who's doing it with you, you don't have to carry anybody else but yourself. So thank you for carrying yourself. That was my question. Can you do it, Kim? We cannot start. I don't care about your money at this point. Do it because I care about the book and the integrity of what I consistently deliver with Susanna, right? So thank you for working hard.
Yes.
And Helga, sister, what about you? You kind of said yes, no, and then you got busy.
I was on the fence, but I met you, and then I thought, let's just go for it. Because I've already wrote the story before, because my sister and I, we did a short film about it, partially of the partial story. But I said, let me just write more of it to give an idea of the characters, because I think in storytelling you gotta tell a little bit of what the characters are like so that people can like the characters, right? And also, when there's always going to be a conflict, right? But I was really interested in doing this because I'd never done it before, and I said, let me try this out. And what I found after doing this was that I'm going to be writing more. And I had to add more to the story because um, it was very, how can I say, I never thought it would be a healing experience. And it was a healing experience because you look back and you think about the relationships with your family and, the things that they went through in life and the way that they were that way because of what the things that they went through, right? And so when you look at all of that, there's forgiveness, right? Because you
Mm.
start understanding why people are the way they are. And and then you have different things that happen in your life that you mention and how you handle them. And the way you handle them is a lot because of the things that you went through with your family, right? So I'm not going to talk too much about the book because we need to make it a surprise. But it's funny. Every time I read like the first sentence of the book or the first paragraph, people say they want to read the book because it's kind of like the hook, right?
Right. That's what I always tell you guys. Give me a good juicy intro that I want to keep going, right? Because I mean, Susanna sees me suffer. I usually, when I grade my MBA students, I have about maybe 1,600 pages to grade in 5 days.
Wow.
And so I read quick and I'm like, I don't want to read after the first paragraph, right? But I have to grade it. So that's why I always teach you, like, when it comes to writing, I've read pages and pages of reports. And what I have found is that if you give me the juicy, gooey, ooey, things, I'm like, ooh, I want to know more, and I want to keep reading your chapter. And so you have done a great job, an excellent job on pushing. Like, I'm always, give me a good intro, and that was my feedback. Is here's the intro. I'm gonna give you your intro. Take it, leave it, change it. I don't care what you want to do with it, but make it juicy, please. Right. So thank you for doing that, sister.
Thank you.
And we need more lunch with somebody else in Oceanside because we live nearby. Promise no
Thirsty.
vacuum. Promise no vacuum this time, okay? Oh, that was funny. Dr. New. Oh, you can't. We can't hear you. You're on mute.
The unmute. Can you hear
Okay.
me now?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yay! Well, truly, I think the Rebel with a Cause movement truly, it's not only to add on with everybody. It's not only it's a healing, it's a addicting because I think it's like what Angelica was saying that is that when you start one, it's only the beginning. It's like people have tattoo, it's a yearning for more because you want to tell the story, because I see that as an art is a form of tattoo, a form of art, like really with singing, with writing, with storytelling like Susanna, or with anthology, or really research and development. But what Rebel with a Cause movement truly is just a little shakening for me, for those who are not awakened yet, to really realize their purpose in life. It's just a share a piece of bits of who we are, why we choose to stand up and speak up about the things that we believe is putting people over profit. For instance, for what I talk about in my chapter, is that how can we be mindfully leading ourselves, mindfully as a leaders. We all leaders. It's not about our title, our accolades, whether we're the president of the US or a company or we are an employee, but we have to take responsibility. And how does we lead? Do we lead with love, kindness, and compassion, and truly with a purpose? Because all come back to us. And that's something that I think in the process of this writing, I would say that for people who don't know Level Up Academy and Susanna and CJ, is that they will continue to level you up. Level you up as in level the world up, because they have to share your stories, because only you can share your story. Each and every one of us here, like Susanna, Miguel, CJ, Antonio, Sandra, Willie, and Kim, and Angelica, is that like many of our fellow rebels with a cause, watching and commenting with us right now, is that only one light. That light, because we can share only our stories. And that story, many people can resonate. You feel like you're alone, but you're not alone. And that is where I want to let people know, if you're suffering, you're physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, question your doubt, that your mere existence is even worth it. I tell you this, that every one of us have that moment. I myself have. And the moment you stand against it and you rise from that ashes and you say no longer serve you, because you have a purpose, you have a message, you have a mission, that your life matters, because your stories are wonderful, is wisdom. So I am blessed to be here. I'm grateful. And if you haven't gotten a chance to work with these, I call them my sisters, but Dr. Constance Leland and Susanna Dawn, they're very patient. They're wonderful. Maybe I'm biased, but if you give them a chance and work with them, you see why we say that. And so it will be addicting. It become another family and extension. That's what I would say.
Thank you, sister. Now I'm gonna end this because we have to end at 52, but I'm gonna actually want you guys to share your quote without explanation because we do have to end at 52. But before I do that, I want to get a take on my sister Susanna because we did the opposite this time. I wrote it because I was in pain losing Jess. I wrote it in like 2, 3 hours, my chapter. And Susanna was at the very end because she wrote a chapter based on her emotions, but not for Rebel with a Cause. And I wanted to know more, sister, of I think this is more of like your next anthology coming up in October because we have another anthology. And let's just give you guys a hint. On Sunday we're gonna talk about it. And it's called Belonging. Um Belonging in the Dynamic Village. But sister Susanna, what are your thoughts? Like this is our third book together published. We've had so many books already together. But for us doing the publishing part, this is our third book. We're going to do fourth one to end this year. But what are your thoughts on your chapter on Rebel with a Cause?
So actually, that turned out to be what my chapter was about, was belonging. Um, after going through that first issue, it's like you wrote your chapter in 3 hours. I wrote a different chapter in about 3 or 4 hours, about the same time, and then it took me time to get back to this, and really, as a rebel, what I was seeing is to find your community, to find where you belong. That's, in many ways, that's being a rebel, because this world keeps telling us who and what we are. People tell us what box we belong in, how they're going to define us. Yet they never really ask us who we are and what we are. So when we can let that go and move forward and just be our authentic selves, that's what I talk about all the time. That's really being our authentic selves is being a rebel. And that leads into everything else, the belonging, communities, and we'll talk more about that on Sunday too.
That's right. That's right. So I'm going to read Miguel. Start thinking about your quote, but I'm going to start with Susanna and her quote in a minute. But I'm going to read you the first paragraph of my chapter because when I wrote it, I didn't think about it anymore. I just wrote it how I feel and I let it go. And now that I'm reading it, I'm like, what was I thinking writing this chapter? I wasn't. I was emotional. So here it goes. It says, in life and business, not everyone who enters your circle comes with good intentions. I've encountered my fair share of individuals who, under the guise of friendship, tried to infiltrate my inner circle with the aim of using my resources for their own gain. These experiences taught me a valuable lesson: the importance of recognizing and letting go of people who don't deserve your time, mind, and heart. And I think this chapter and this paragraph is going to not only resonate but continue. It will continue to be a pillar, right, of everyone's day to day, because you're always going to lose friends, you're always going to gain friends. And during this time when I was in depression mode, I really was trying my best, my hardest, not to stay depressed because I had so many projects I carried at that moment. And Willie J, Danielle, Dr. New, Susanna, thank you for calling me and checking up on me in real life, not just DM, but like literally pick up the damn phone call. CJ, are you alive? Are you breathing? I'm like, barely, but thank you for calling. I really appreciate that. And for YouTube, almost 1900. Thank you for being here. So here's the quote. Ready, sister? Your turn. Go. Give me a quote. We are going to end in like 3 minutes.
My quote is by General Patton. A test of success is not how successful you are, it's how high you bounce after you've hit bottom.
Awesome. Miguel, what's your favorite quote, Miguel?
Uh, from a young lord, the way we mobilize our base is by solving their needs. If they need hot water, they get hot water. If they need shoes, they get shoes.
Awesome. This is mine from Bruce Lee. Don't pray for an easy life. Pray for the strength to endure a difficult one. Dr. Johnson, what's your favorite quote, sir?
My favorite quote is by the book. It's a book, of Art of War. In the time of peace, prepare for war. And I continue to say that based on the environment that I grew up in and based on, Dr. Leland, that I actually worked for the Chicago Police Department in various positions. And then growing up in the city, and we're talking about the South, I actually, yes, yes, yes. I went to school in the South in Louisiana to understand how that environment is different. Then I come back to Chicago and the environment's totally changed. So that's my quote that I go by every day.
Thank you. Sandra, your turn. Favorite quote?
Just have a question. Has to be from my chapter or in general?
Any quote.
All right. I have this one I really like is true growth doesn't happen in isolation. It thrives in community that, like a gardener, knows how to nurture and support every stage of your development. I don't know.
Awesome.
I always
Willie
like this.
J. Thank
All
you.
right. My quote is definitely probably my own quotes. Keep on growing with the flow, and when you grow with the flow, you'll have the capacity to be resilient, and resilience is brilliant. And lastly, Smith Wigglesworth, I'm 1,000 times bigger on the inside than I am on the outside.
Yeah.
Awesome. Kim, favorite quote?
I guess this quote could become from me. It just came about. Do it now. Tomorrow
Yeah.
promise to no one.
Yes. Angelica.
Always focus on the positive when something negative happens. Remember the lady that was on the on TV that there was a fire. She said, "Ain't nobody got time for that. I got the bronchitis." So we don't focus on the negative because then we'll waste a lot of time. Let's use our time wisely and focus on the positive and keep moving forward.
Yeah.
Yes, I love it. Ain't got no time for that. Okay, how about this? Before Dr. No, look, I was putting this. Can you guys see that?
What is it?
It says, if not now, then when? Right? If not now, then when? When are you going to do it?
Right.
Dr.
Sure.
New, go ahead. Give me your quote.
I love your hat, sister, and your pink Susanna the hat. But we are truly rebels. So my quote is: "True rebellion isn't about defiance. It's about full leadership, leading with compassion, purpose, kindness, with love, and putting people over profit. and realizing that everything we need is within us to create a lasting change.
Hmm.
I'm gonna have to remember that. That's a long quote. I was like, I'm gonna have to remember that's a long quote. Oh my gosh. But here's the thing. What we are doing, guys, it's not a book. We are making a movement, right? We're gonna be authoring, we're gonna be in all over your face, all over YouTube. Because we want to make sure that you understand you have a choice. The choice is yours, right? Don't stay on the pity party, whatever it is, because we don't got no time for that, just like Angelica said. I love you, YouTube. Almost 2,000 people today. Bye, everybody. Say bye, guys.
Bye. Yeah.
Bye.
See ya.